Rental demand soars as more millennials hold off on buying. In the DC suburb of Chevy Chase, MD, a massive apartment rental and condominium complex is going up, and apparently it can't happen fast enough. Demand for rental apartment demand in the second quarter of 2019 spiked by 11% from a year ago. That, in turn, demand. Despite the increase, a record 82% of renters say renting is more affordable than owning, according to a new survey from Freddie Mac, up from 67% just a year ago. Affordability. Rental demand is currently highest in the nation's largest cities, with Dallas/Fort Worth, Chicago, Houston, New York City and Washington, D.C. leading. Apartment construction began booming back in 2014, and hasn't pulled back much despite concern that lower mortgage rates would push renters to buy. There is still a lot of, while apartment construction is booming, single-family home construction is not. Home builders are. The shortage began to ease slightly in the past year, but seems to be worsening again. The inventory of
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.